What is up? What is up, everybody? As always, I'm Photo Dave. This is Toypixx, but also, as always, at least as of late, I've been a bad toy nerd. So, we're going to play some catch up tonight. We're going to try and figure out what it is that's absolutely insanely cool that I've been missing because I truly have been a bad toy nerd. Gotta work on that, gotta fix it. But hey, I'm learning how to run ads, and it turns out I'm kind of good at it. So I've been having a little bit more fun getting clients doing that stuff. So yeah, it all takes time, and when I get that all figured out, I'll be back in full force. So let us see what is going on. Mr. Spencer, hola, sir. How's it going this fine evening? Having fun yet? It's good times. And I do have I have the Toy Arc website called up. I have BBTS called up. So we can just go digging, see what we see that's cool. What's everybody heard of that you're kind of stoked about recently? Besides, tea with honey, like I do from time to time. Andrew Sabina, evening, man. Thanks for stopping by. Whew, every time I get way close, every time I zoom in on this thing, I'm like, nobody wants to see this. This is scary, scary. Whew. So yeah, I was looking on, let me see here. Let's just call it up now. I've been kind of excited about the fact that a lot of these companies are starting to put out stuff that were, I guess, big sellers for them, because it means they get to save money and hopefully not get costs way too crazy. We saw them. Where was it? I just saw Kingpin. Like, did they just re-release Kingpin? I'm seeing these guys here. Hang on, let me make sure everything's working. All right. All right, stinking me and all the electronics. Let's grab. So it looks like there's been a little bit of re-releasing when it comes to our boys over at Hasbro with Legends. And I know when Scarlet Spider here was first announced way back, I thought, he's not that bad. I'm not that disappointed in him. And I'll tell you why. I mean, I wouldn't get him. I'd prefer to get the Mafex one. But the reason I didn't hate this one so much is even though he's got the ab crunch and no ball peg waist, because he has this hoodie on, it kind of hides it when he's bending. So it's not such a bad thing. And then he's got the diaphragm twist, I believe, up here as well. So really, I think that the Scarlet Spider is a pretty good Legends figure. So if you're into Legends and you dig the Scarlet Spider, I was never a Ben Reilly guy. So this one missed on a couple fronts for me personally, but I can't deny that as far as a Legends figure is concerned, this one's pretty good. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, great googly moogly. What did I do? I hit the wrong thing. Yo, what's up, LBZ? Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to make an adjustment here. That's a huge melon for what I want to see. Let's try. Also not kosher. It's like, they gave me different options. Wait a second. There we go. This one was hiding out. Ooh, I hate it when they change the menus on me. Harry, thank you for stopping by. I am the worst toy nerd ever. I'm like, okay, guys, get me caught up. All right, Marvel Legends Kingpin. Yeah, I saw him on, where was it? It was Entertainment Earth. Check out Entertainment Earth. I'll go there in a sec here. But if you go to, I think he was under newly added, and it was the one that was like classic cartoon type colors. See, so I'm on Pulse, I think. Okay. Cool beans. I haven't been to Pulse in a while, but yeah, I saw him over there on EE. Let's see, there's a lot of good cloth hoodies out there for upgrading as well. I've noticed a bunch of them. Does everybody here know who GPS Lots is? At least as far as it's just the name of an account on eBay. And that account's always got tons of hoodies and jackets and weapons. Like I ordered Wolverine beer mugs and a cigarette and stuff like that from that seller. So he's a good one to keep track of if you haven't heard of him. Yeah, I'm forgiving of ab crunches too if there's something over it. Yep. That's where I'm at because this isn't. It's not so much that it's too rough, and you can kind of get the whole ball peg waist effect by having that slide ab crunch with this stuff over it and having that diaphragm joint. So I'm not too disappointed with Scarlet Spidey there for a Marvel Legend for me. Let's see. I have the Mafex Scarlet Spider, but I wouldn't mind getting the ML on sale. What do you think of the Mafex one, LBC? I know that I saw displaying model behavior when it first came out, and I guess the knee ended up just disintegrating or something on him. And I haven't heard, like he said in his Facebook group, that a lot of people were reporting the same issue. Or, I'm sorry, I don't like saying issues, those are magazines, the same problem. So, yeah, I haven't heard of anybody but there, and then hearing him talking about those. So my hope is that it doesn't happen to a bunch of people. See, yeah, GPS lot has some good soft goods if I don't want to wait for stuff from China. There's tons of that stuff on eBay too. It's crazy. Ooh, I pre-ordered Scarlet Spider as a future gift for a friend who's a huge fan. Nice. Nice. Yeah, there were a lot of people that love Ben Reilly. I think I was just too old to care about Ben Reilly so much, and I wasn't really into the Spider-Man comics. I've never understood, and I get why he has crazy appeal. He's just never, so I guess I have understood. He's just not, I really like Spider-Man, but he doesn't have the crazy appeal to me that he does for a lot of other people. So there's that. LBZ, the only issue, let's see, I have on mine is the joints are tight, nothing melting. Yeah, it wasn't, what was it that they said? It was like, I think it was almost like the left knee joint, left, right. It was a knee joint. I don't remember which one. It was like it disintegrated or just crumbled. And that would have bummed me out if I spent a bunch of money for a Mafex figure and ended up with that problem. Yeah, I like to say whenever I'm working with people and they fire off, well, here's the issue. I'm like, that's not an issue. That's a problem because I like words. People don't necessarily like it when I go that way, though. It happens. By the way, I have a question for everybody, all right? So there was a country singer, Morgan Wallen, I think is right. I haven't been listening to a lot of music lately, and I really don't listen to country stuff except the old stuff before it was pop with a twang. And I've heard lately that it doesn't even have a twang anymore. So it's just pop at this point. But here's the thing. So I hear that this Morgan Wallen guy throws a chair out of a 6-story bar. It lands next to some cops, and the cops end up arresting him. He spends a night in jail, all that stuff. So I'm around a group of people last night, and I said, as somebody's telling the story, man, I just wish I knew what the chair did. And one person got it, as in, like, what did the chair do to deserve getting thrown out of the window? One person gets it, and everybody else just looks at me like, I have no idea what you just said. Anyway, these are the jokes I tell that sometimes fall on deaf ears. Ah, that's right. Water and tea this fine evening. So let me know, would you have gotten that for me? Let's see. That's a shame. Yeah, it's just a weird thing that I haven't heard about from any other figure, actually, when it comes to Mafex. Corporate speak doesn't like problems. Oh, that's true. That's true. But George Carlin did not like corporate speak, and I'm a big Carlin fan. Carlin was always like, what was it? Have you heard the example? Like, he told a thing about how PTSD is kind of a joke. Shell shock, when you say shell shock, you know what's going on with the troops and all that stuff. When you say PTSD, it sounds too clinical. It doesn't actually sound like what it is. So I started listening to Carlin a lot about, words have meaning and you want to use the right words to get the right response. So issues just always, always bothers me. But you're right. People don't like to hear we've got a problem. Let's see. Some people have limited sense of humor. This is true. I get that. I get that. But so my sister, I texted her about it and she goes, maybe they just didn't think it was funny, because she goes, I probably wouldn't have laughed. I said, yes, but you would have rolled your eyes because you would have understood what I said. And I think they genuinely just didn't get it. Let's see. You don't like Cowboy Troy, Dave? Which one's Cowboy Troy? I don't know things. Is that what they call what's his face? The guy that threw the chair? Let's see. Shell shock, battle fatigue. Yep, there you go, Andrew. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I couldn't remember the battle fatigue part. But yeah, the whole point being shell shock, you know what's up. PTSD, it sounds so not like you don't know what's up quite as easily. See, I don't like corporate speak, and I had multiple meetings today. Lots of corporate speak from people. Man, yep. I'm fortunate in that I do work for myself. So I'll hear words start to sneak in that came from corporate America. Like whenever somebody wants to have a meeting, like at a coffee shop, they'll say something like, let's do this offline. Like, really? You can't just say, let's just get together in an office or something? It just sounds wrong to me, that kind of thing, But I'm sure you hear it all the time. Let's see. I have a GPS lock McFarlane wired Superman cape because glass plastic capes suck. I do not disagree with that assessment. I didn't know, let's see, it's been a while since I've looked up GPS Lot, but he's always got the good stuff. I didn't know that he was making wired Superman capes for McFarlane. Although, why wouldn't he? That's got to be a seller. You make a wired Batman or a wired Superman cape, you're going to make money. Not delving into that one if you don't. All right, fair play. Because I got nothing. All right, let's see here. So we've got Scarlet Spidey here. Oh, get out of there. There we go. And then we've got, everybody's talking about a 40th anniversary, studio series Optimus Prime. And then I see they're just re-releasing the War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Prime, which I had, and I didn't think he was that good, but maybe others really dug him. I don't know. But yeah, I'm wondering if they're actually going to do a Studio Series 86 Optimus. Does anybody really get into, I know AR, if he were here, he gets into Transformers, and I love Transformers. I just don't get into picking them up so much. Probably because I didn't think their great Optimus Prime that everybody loves was all that great. Damn, the Tiger Force Wreckage Tiger Paw sold out everywhere. I did see that. I totally forgot about that. Hang on, let's see. Was he just, that was just announced today, wasn't it? Because I saw him on a feed somewhere. I actually had time to scroll a little bit of Twitter or something. And I thought that was today. Maybe it was yesterday. Either way, I'm sure he's going to come back. Let's see. I get some Transformers, but the quality has really dropped off in current years. And I wonder if that's, I know I had gotten the first wave of Studio Series 86, and they looked good, but they didn't feel right. It was just, it felt weird engineering-wise with the tolerances and all that stuff. And then I'd also gotten this Earthrise Optimus Prime, and it just didn't do it for me. There just wasn't enough there. I don't know. I don't want to say he felt cheap. I mean, he worked. I was never afraid of breaking him or anything like that, but he just felt light, I think is the right word to go with. But I know they have to do a whole lot of hollow work now because, they don't want to go with solid plastic, which I don't. Yeah. Anyway, that's saving money because plastic costs, last time I looked, are arguably down compared to like 2015 with inflation. So I'm like, huh, that makes me sad. Oops. I keep jumping between all kinds of things. All right, so let's get out of Prime here. Let's see. Oh, here we go, guys. Let's see what we got on some deals. We know we can at least hit this part. Oh boy. Did anybody, okay, here's a real question. Did anybody get into the Ultimates with Transformers? Because to me, like, honestly, Grimlock might be good just because it's so goofy. Like, he might be kind of a fun one to have. But I don't know about the others. What's the, man, why can't I, Bludgeon. And it's cool that there's a Bludgeon that looks like Bludgeon, like this hardcore out there. But they just, man, when I saw the Super 7 Optimus Prime and how limited he was, that just about made me go, yeah, I'm out. I can't do any of those. But there's Grimlock. He's still kind of tempting. Let's see if we've got, yeah, Megatron. I mean, one thing I got to give Super 7 is they always give their figures all kinds of stuff. But I think, yeah, I think Grimlock just to have something goofy. I think that's kind of a fun figure. And let's see here. Let's see if they've got Grimlock for sale on his own. $128.99 for the lot. Oh, come on, Grimmy. Uh-oh. I am not seeing Grimmy on his own. And then we've got Retro Collection for Marvel and Star Wars. So very limited everything. Let's see. Yep, they must not have done very well. Look at that. That's all Retro Collection. Oh, there's the Optimus I was talking about. Retro Collection. Let's see. Scarlet Witch. I don't know. $14.99. What do you guys think? I had this Hercules for $16.99. Bonsai-tron. It amazes me that Super 7 stuff, that there's still a bunch of it after all the clearances. Let me see this Optimus here. Like, this might be, honestly, as much as his elbows can bend, and that bummed me out when I saw reviews come out with him. And he looks like... This is terrible. You ready? You ready? This is me just being... I don't know, because it is what I'm seeing here. He looks like one of those old erasers in these product shots. Like you would just carry around a bag of Transformers erasers, and this would be one of them. Comes with plenty of stuff. I do enjoy that he has the toy head. I think that's pretty cool. But there's not tons of stuff that they've got for a daily deal that I'd be all that worked up about. Maybe you guys are seeing something. I guess I should go back to the chat so I'm not just here blah, blah, blah. Mr. Spencer, right after the pandemic or towards the end, I feel like the figs just got less good. I've been disappointed with a lot of the ones I picked up. Is it quality? Is it just, like, is it, for me, like I said earlier, it felt like they looked pretty good, but they feel light. And it felt like the tolerances were a little weird. That's just where I was with it, though. That might not be everybody's take on it. Tragic. Hey, David, chat. Hope all is well and happy Friday Eve. I do enjoy thinking of Thursday as Friday Eve, although Tuesday is the most worthless day when you think about it. But Thursday being Friday Eve is pretty awesome. Like, the reason I say Tuesday is the most worthless day is Friday, woo, the weekend's about to start. Saturday, we got the weekend. Sunday, you're like, it's kind of weekend, but you still kind of got to be ready for work on Monday, and everybody hates Monday. Tuesday is just kind of there. And then Wednesday is halfway done, halfway, come on, we can keep going. Thursday is Friday Eve, and then we start all over. I feel like Tuesday just is, unless you celebrate Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, Tuesday is kind of one of those useless days. Yeah, Grimlock is silly and kind of interesting. And I think that's the draw when it comes to Grimmy for me. I mean, I won't get him, but that is a bit of a draw. Let's see, meh, Super 7. Yeah, I want to start seeing what's going on after the rumor that Flynn isn't in charge of creative anymore. I want to see what Super 7 starts doing. I'm very curious right now. Let's see. You have to really sell me on a transformer that doesn't transform. 3-0 MDLX. Those things are ridiculously good. But I'm not going to work that hard to sell you. I might write an ad for it. That Scarlet Witch is a nice looking figure. Yeah, she looks good. I don't think I had that one. I had the one in the Family Matters pack. Mr. Spencer, Herc is kind of interesting to me, but I'm kind of over budget already. Yeah, you hate the budget getting involved with everything. They should just we shouldn't need the money. We should just go in and be like, hey, you want to give that away? Sure. I'm kidding. That would not work well for society. See, Tuesdays suck, so I make it up with Taco Tuesdays. Good man, Tragic. Good man. I was hoping somebody would get in there and do something to make Tuesdays awesome. Make Tuesdays great. Let's see. My budget was over January 1st. Well, I can see that. I can see me looking going, yeah, that might be accurate here too. Who knows? Let's see. I'm going to pass on the daily deals. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing much aside from that Grimlock, but like I said, I'd pass on that too. Let's see. There really hasn't been a lot of craziness going on with toys lately, have there? Let's see. Life-size replicas, import figures. Well, okay. Sometimes it's fun to look through the import figures. It kind of cracks me up. What do we have here? And I tend to skip model kits, and sometimes you can't tell. Is this a statue? Is it a model kit? Model kit. Let's see. Gridman Universe, Arcane Shinjo. Yeah, I know nothing. All right, well, she's articulated, but she's a model kit, so I tend to skip those things. If you guys want to stop and check that kind of stuff out, let me know. Right now, let's see. Got this statue. That's going to be a statue. Or is it? Hang on. Let's see. Oh, 1/7. 1/7. Doesn't matter. 1/7 there. This is, man, the things they can do in Japan. Come on, come on. Open, open, open. Usually you go through here and there's just a bunch of statues or little like chibi looking things like these guys. What is this? Oh, yep. I have seen La Plus Darkness, but this looks to be a statue. Yep, non-articulated. Dagnabbit. Who was that used to say dagnabbit like that? Always love robots. Yeah, I'm not seeing much as far as these right now. So we'll get out of here. Good times. Just messing. Pushing the buttons. Ah. You show up and then I take it away. Let's see. Mine was close behind. Ramen Racer killed it. Oh, budgets are evil. Let's see. I even had to lower my AWOC KS backing. Oh, no. And then next, after that admission of guilt, we get Brick something. What's up, Brick? Thanks for stopping in, man. Hey, I'll show me those deals. We'll head back. There wasn't much. Let's see. Well, we had some Super 7. We had a lot of the old, like the 3 3/4 inch retro type stuff for Marvel and Star Wars. Super 7 was just a set of Transformers. Which way was that? Wave 2, just a sec. Like we talked about, maybe Grimlock would be kind of fun, but you can't get them separately. So we backed out of there. I was hoping I could find him on his own, but I still probably wouldn't get him. So there's that. Oops. At least the chat's working tonight. Now it's just that my hand is too fast on pushing the buttons. And then there were these. There's the old, not old, but we've got an older Scarlet Witch and Hercules that are Marvel Legends. It says Retro Collection, but I don't. That makes it sound like it's those little 5 POA guys, and that's not at all what's going on here. Although I do think they call that line Retro Collection anyway. This is brand confusion. I can talk to them about that. Then we had Prime, we had Herc, and Bonsai-tron, which I didn't click on earlier. I think I might have. No, I didn't have Bonsai-tron. I had Jackpot or something. Anyway, those were the daily deals. Brick. I was just in San Francisco, Japantown today. Not a statue guy, but always have fun looking at the statues there. Yeah, everything. I would love to just go somewhere like a Japantown. I've never been in a Japantown. That would just be a blast. Just to see what they've got, because their stuff is so cool. Let's see, totally understand, John. Yep. Yeah, it always sucks when you got to make decisions like that, but it's got to happen. Speaking of ramen, I was excited to see some Marshall Bravestar updates today on YouTube. Looking good. Ooh, I did not know that he updated. I want the Musk. Have we heard anything about the Musk lately? Because that's the update I need to have happen. I need to know these things. I just keep repeating myself at this point. I'm going to take another swig of the tea. Tragic. Hey, sorry to throw a curveball. I had a question about your photography. No, that's good, man. That's part of the reason for all this. What are your favorite types of, let's see, shots? I'm guessing shot, but we could go the other way as well. Wide, portraits, macro, etc. And what are your challenging shots? For me, anything that is a wide group shot is a challenge, just because I don't have the dio set up. Like, I don't have a lot of dios I can put together to put like a really huge looking city kind of thing to have just a huge landscape of action figures. So that's probably the toughest as far as structure. It's not, I don't really have a hard time, I don't think, with, I'm trying to think here of the types of shots, the angles, the straight-ons, the above. Above might be kind of tricky. Like, you almost need a 3/4 view to make things look right. Below can be tough depending on how your table's set up and how everything's set up, because sometimes what can happen is if you want to shoot something from below and capture their head or whatever, get some kind of crazy expression going on, you might not have a backdrop that goes high enough. So suddenly, instead of shooting from below and seeing sky or buildings or whatever, you're seeing your ceiling. So that can be a bit of a pain. But let's see here. As far as wide, portrait, all that, wide and portrait, it just depends on what the story is I'm trying to tell. I've really toyed with the idea of putting together comic book pages, but I haven't even been able to get on a regular shooting schedule the last few weeks. So once I'm able to do that, I think that'd be fun, and that'll lend itself to just all kinds of shots. So it's really, what is it you're trying to accomplish with the shot? Wide or portrait, either one gets it done. But let's say you're trying to structure it like an old comic book or something, where you have 3 panels going down the left, 3 panels that are maybe the same size, and then one long portrait type panel going down the right. Then obviously the ones on the left are probably going to be landscape. You can set up whatever's going to happen in the crazy, good Lord, my brain, in the crazy long portrait shot on the right. with those other panels. And it could even be something that is like you're just way zoomed in on a side of a figure's face in order to get that really long one. So really, when it comes to wide and portrait, it just depends on what you're shooting. It just depends on what the effect is you're going for. One of the things that I like doing, but I don't do it much because it's not a pure photo kind of thing, is setting up a panel like you would see in a comic book and having the figure break the wall of the panel. So you give them like a white background, then you have the panel here, and maybe off to the side you might have Wolverine's fist popping out of the panel with its claws coming forward. That's more a design thing, but I mean, comic book pages are basically art and graphic design combined. So there's all this stuff. It really depends on what you need to do. Macro is tough for me right now. And like anything that is tough for me is because I don't have the equipment. I don't have a great macro lens. I don't have a fisheye lens, and I would love to get a fisheye lens. But if I had that, then I really need stuff to stretch out to the side to get those sweet shots. So yeah, if I'm thinking the tough stuff, it's more a lack of equipment than it is a lack of shooting, only because I've been shooting since like before college. I've been shooting for a long time. So that's not so tough. Here we go. What is tough for me is I'll get online oftentimes, and the imaginative ways that people come up with, like, here's how I'm going to make water, or here's how I'm going to make smoke or clouds or whatever this effect is. That stuff is hard for me because oftentimes my brain doesn't work like that. So I keep trying to get it to adjust a little bit more towards that so that I can start making my own effects and everything. Because I love Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop for a long time. I make it do things that I'm pretty happy with. But if I could do everything practically, I would be stoked. The only thing, in fact, I can think of that I wouldn't want to do practically is smoke, just because I still haven't seen some kind of fog machine or anything that is just water vapor. Like there's always some chemical in there, and the figures we get are too pricey for me to want to gamble on that. So those are the things. Those are the things. Oh, that was a long-winded way of answering the question. Hopefully it got there. How about you? What ones do you have a tough time with, and what are your favorites? Whew. You know that I talked a lot because now there's a bunch of chats. Thanks, guys. Which is the Musk again? The A-Team van? No, the Musk is the sewer. I want the sewer. I think sewer with the top and everything, I think that'd be a blast. That's going to be something that's going to be good for photography. Mr. Spencer, and the teaser, that may be Magnum's Ferrari plus the A-Team van for 150 and a generic one for 100. Huh. I saw a picture of the A-Team van earlier. I didn't see the teaser for the Ferrari. That would be pretty sweet. So Ace is going all in on 80s. And the funny part is, all you really, like, it wouldn't be hard to make a Magnum figure, even if he didn't necessarily look like Tom Selleck, because you just need the big mustache and a ball cap. Probably can't get away with putting the Detroit D on that, but it's China. Maybe Ace could anyway. Let's see. Got Best Action Alloplex and Retro Scarlet today. My Target was stock. No Bison, though. It's been a while since I've been to Target. I got to get over there at some point. How is Alloplex? Or Alloplex? I know the character. She's like I know the character, but I'm curious about, like, it feels like Best Action's kind of stepping it up. Let's see, Mr. Spencer, favorite shot? Rum. Challenging shot? Everclear. Oh, don't bring Everclear into this discussion. What did I have? I had a client once gave me moonshine, and I had just a tiny pull from that. I still have it, and I had maybe that much. Ooh. Yeah, moonshine is, that stuff's rough. Everclear is one that I never gambled on. Probably a good thing for me. And I don't have the tequila story that everyone else has, which is weird. Let's see, Mezco Storm Shadow and the next Mission Critical expansions arrive tomorrow. Ooh, I can't wait to see some Storm Shadow. I want to see how cool he looks. And of course, coming to you, I'll get to see that. Let's see, I know off topic, but I hope everyone is watching X-Men 97. It is the best show. Okay, so here's what's going on. Check this out. I want to watch that. Like, I've seen it up till this week. So my Fire Stick, I have an old TV. So it was plugged into the TV, and it's still plugged into the TV. Nothing went bad, or, well, I mean, something must have gone bad, but I can't get my Fire Stick to pop on at all. Like, the screen is just totally black. So I'm thinking what I need to do is unplug it from that port and try the other port just below it and see if I can program that into the TV and hope that works. But something that happened the other day that I'm not so sure it will work was this. So Prime had Dune, and I thought, I gotta watch Dune. Like, I've got to see this. It's the big thing. It's supposedly awesome, and I really want to see Dune 2. I'm going to watch Dune. And it basically told me that I just couldn't. It's like, no, man, you can't get this. And so my assumption is things are starting to get too fancy for my, at this point, 2007 TV. That's right. Everything I have is old equipment because I never really have to replace it. Like, I don't replace things until, well, they all start breaking down. So I have not seen X-Men 97 this week. I have seen it up till this week and loved every episode. Although, I guess the one with Mojo, that one seemed like they tried packing an awful lot into the episode, but we talked about that before. And if it's only 10 episodes long and they're trying to tell this big story, I can see why they would have to do that. It's just the others flowed much better for me. But yes, I have read that yesterday's episode was insane. Let's see. You're all in on Mission Critical, it seems. Oh, Mr. Madsen, I need to look more of that stuff up. Let's see. We made a drink on the 90s out of, oh no, in the 90s, out of Jägermeister and a soda called Kick. Let's see, we called it a kick in the balls. That would be right. I remember Kick. Yeah, Jaeger bombs, dude. I am having flashbacks. Although the real drinks, I hung out a lot in an Irish bar in town. And every St. Patrick's Day, we'd go nuts with the car bombs. And then, of course, you had to drink Jameson. You had to drink Guinness. The people at the bar said that it was the third best Guinness pour in the country. I wouldn't know, of course, but it was good. So, yeah, I'm thinking back to all those nights. Those weren't that bad. They were a lot of fun, and I didn't get too crazy too often, but yeah. Good times. Some nightmare fuel, but overall good times. Let's see. I actually like Jaeger as long as it's cold. Used to mix it with cherry Coke. Now, see, that could probably be pretty good. I know a guy who he straight up can't drink Jaeger. He will do a shot of Jaeger and he'll hurl. It'll be over. And it's not something where he's drunk or anything. He just can't do a shot of Jaeger. Let's see. You weren't scared off from Lawrence's frustrations with that Storm Shadow? I mean, it was probably already ordered. We'll see. It could be. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Thus far, I have everything released for both the deck building game and Mission Critical. Oh, right. That's the G.I. Joe. Okay, got it. It's been so long, guys. It's been all the way since Monday, and my brain can't go back that far. Lord, sorry for the typo. Shots. That's right. Shots. That's all I got. Ooh. That is, I will say that's how I used to pace myself, is I would get shots instead of mixed drinks because I could keep track that way. And because I know the people, or I knew the people at the time, they were not stingy about what they put in the drinks. See, at Brick, let's see, I prepaid over a year ago. That's what I figured. And it's Storm Shadow. He's not had a lot of experience with Mezco. The Amazing loves him. Ah, I haven't even been watching The Amazing, and I love his reviews. I gotta check. I gotta get back. I gotta get this stuff figured out so I can get back into it. I am getting better at the ad creative. I'm kind of stoked about that. Let's see. Is it the Ulanzi smoke machine just water vapor? Is it? Because there's some stuff I look at and it looks like there's some kind of chemical in there to make stuff happen. If it is, I would be super stoked to check that out. Let's see. Dune was good. Dune 2 was the worst, best movie I've seen. I never know exactly how to take comments like that. The worst, best. So there's a lot of great movies, and it's the worst of the great movies. That's how I choose to take that one. Let's see. Thank you for your input. I suck at Photoshop. I know a few YouTube courses will get me where I need to be. Back in 2001, I used to work for Kodak. I loved that job because of all of the free cameras. Yep, that'd do it. That's awesome, man. Oh, Kodak. That's all the film I used. That's right. I used film. And it seemed to be a lot of Kodak. Kodak seemed to be the good stuff for us. Let's see. Shogun, Three Body Problem, Masters of Air are all great. I need to see Shogun. I've heard so much good about Shogun. Tragic. I haven't watched the new X-Men. I'm afraid they're going to mess it up at the last episode. Well, I mean, everybody's enjoyed the ride thus far. Maybe here's what you do. You watch it. You just see what the general internet is saying about it. Because to be honest, a friend of mine texted me about this the other night. He's like, dude, have you been watching X-Men 97? And I said, yeah, man, I think it's the best Disney Plus anything since the second season of Mando. And he's like, yeah, totally agree. Now, I'm a weirdo who didn't really enjoy Andor all that much. But yeah, I have not been impressed by Disney Plus's offerings. X-Men 97 totally blows that out of the water. So what I would do, if you're that nervous, is the Wednesday it comes out, you just get on Twitter real quick, see what the general consensus is. You should be able, I think most people, you're going to get some spoilers, but overall, there's still a lot of context those spoilers will miss. And then you just keep watching until one episode shows up and you look and it just goes, yeah, this was a train wreck. I can't believe they totally destroyed this show already. And at that point, you just cut it off and you're done. That's what I plan on doing. That's not. I'm going to have to see it all the way through. But so far, I will say that I have loved every episode. I think it's a great show. Let's see. Yep. Harry for the agreeance. Tragic. Let's see. They will. It's Disney after all. After all, the last ep I watched, I really didn't like. Now, was that the one that I was talking about where it was like there was too much going on? So it was the Mojoverse and then it was Storm and Forge? Because I will agree that I said I loved every one of them. That one I only liked just because it felt so convoluted. Tragic. Let's see. I know, man. I'm going to wait until the season is over and check on reviews. We'll see. I mean, I'm with you guys overall with Disney lately. After, like I said before, and I know the good Mr. Spencer will disagree, and that's cool beans. I'm good with it all. Indy 5 is what finally did me in, where I'm like, I can't anymore with Disney. Please, for the love of God, keep your paws out of everything else I love. Because Indy 5 was awful. Let's see. Hi, dang. X-Men 97 is so freaking good. Yeah, I know a lot of people, or I heard some people talking about the first episode like, oh, they went woke. First off, whenever somebody fires off woke, I think in my head, okay, when somebody uses this term, there's really no point in any kind of debate. It's the same thing when somebody uses like misogynist or racist and all that stuff. You're like, woke and snowflake, those opinions don't matter. Racist, misogynist, when you're just talking about a show that's either good or bad, those opinions don't matter. Let's find everybody in here and find out what they're saying. So, yeah, I understood what people meant when they were saying that. But at the same time, the Friends of Humanity and X-Men have always been like this foil in the same way they were with X-Men 97 or have been with X-Men 97. So I don't really, I didn't see what other people were seeing. I think people were reading more into it than was there. See, I'm really looking forward to what these 2 seasons bring. Same here, man. And that's the thing too. Like after season 2, is it just going to be a train wreck since they fired the showrunner? See, Photo Dave, you looking to get Super 7 stuff? You know what? I said earlier in the stream, I'm curious about what's going to happen if it's true that Brian Flynn won't be making the creative decisions anymore. But I was looking at this going, I need to get this off the screen and just hadn't yet. So let's do that. No, I'm not really looking into Super 7. Like I said, it only goes to curiosity. We were looking at the daily deals, and he was just the last guy on the daily deals. Let's see if they've got something here that we can just click on that's more fun to look at. What is this? Oh, the little armory sets. Those are kind of fun. I don't have them, but I enjoy. Here we go. Ah, there we go, guys. This is, you know what? No, this is what's up. Let's put this on the screen instead. I really like the idea, and I wish I might need to try and, once the ads thing starts working out in my favor, I'm going to need to jump in on this thing. I really like the idea of this. We'll leave. You know what? Oh, that's pretty good too. Okay, tell you what, let's leave it on this one, since that was the old school art. And I know I was saying, I don't know about Transformers. This is Takara. We're good. I think that stuff's cool. I like taking the old stuff and being like, here we go. See, nah, I didn't care for Slim Mojo, but it was the Magneto Rogue ep with Nightcrawler. Okay, that's the one that just happened. I'm gonna have to check that out. Slim Mojo, what was they gave the rationale in there, and then towards the end of the episode, he was large again. I don't know why I'm sitting here being all PC. He wasn't fat, guys. He was large. All right, let's see. Oh, that Mojo Tendo episode was awesome, and the Stormforge story was superb. These writers know how to make an impact emotionally with animated characters. It is good. Like I said, that's been my least favorite so far, but that's not saying it was a bad episode at all. The first 2 hit so hard, and I was just blown away by them. I think that's the thing. I love this community. I appreciate the feedback on X-Men 97. Yeah, it's really been good, I think. But like Mr. Matson was talking about today's episode, I haven't seen that, so I can't comment on this one. Let's see, the people are doing it right. Stay faithful to the comics and tweak the story. And that's exactly what they did in the old one, too. You know, it always bummed me out as a kid that Psylocke wasn't in the show because I was reading the comics at the time, and I'm like, everybody else from X-Men Blues here, why isn't, or from the Blue Teams here, why isn't Psylocke? And then as I got older, I'm like, okay, I understand why she couldn't really be a main character and all that stuff, but they would tweak it. Like they told the Dark Phoenix story with basically 90s X-Men. It was just, you're right, they did it right with that kind of stuff, and they're doing it right, at least up till today's. Like I said, haven't seen that yet, but they've done it right thus far. Let's see. The Brian Flynn rumors appear to be false. Okay. Well, then I'm back to caring about Super 7 as much as I did before. That is to say, not. Listen, I'm from Chicago. I'm jaded because my team is the Chicago Bears. Dude, I understand that. But way back when, I did think Jim McMahon and the Fridge were pretty awesome, and who doesn't love sweetness? So don't worry. You at least have that in your history. Let's see, things start out great and then fall apart. Cue up Social Distortion, story of my life. Yep, I understand. I live in Michigan, where the Lions have been just a joke for over 60 years, and they're finally showing life. Now, the Lions aren't my team. The 49ers are, because I actually grew up on the West Coast. But, like, the Lions, it's interesting to see how everybody around me is reacting to the Lions because they're so stoked about it. but I always am waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, how far are they going to make it before they just blow it? So I know what you're saying. The Lions, everybody around here has always talked about how they're the master at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I'm sure they're not the only ones. The Bears have kind of been the same way a little bit. But everything's cyclical. They'll come back. Besides, they had Ditka. Ditka versus God. God, but not by much. Let's see. That G1 Toy Optimus is so neat. I know, man. Like, I think bringing back stuff like this, like kind of how they did with Masters Origins, I think that was a good idea. I am blown away that they were able to do this with this Optimus Prime. I might need to go find the toy version as well, or the cartoon version as well. Let's see. The most recent? What's repent? Repent! The most recent episode is epic. Oh man, I'm gonna have to mess with my TV. Hopefully I can check it out. So I'm gonna be bummed if I have to be like, man, everything's finally working. Oh, instead of buying figures, I have to now go get a new monitor. Fortunately, TVs are way cheaper than they were when I bought this one, so we're good with that. Alrighty. Let's see what we've got going now. Play a little more. I would now push the button. Yeah, I was happy leaving this Prime on screen because I just think it's a good idea. Like I said, I don't have it, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't have yet this year that I still am looking at and thinking maybe that needs to be picked up. I know you guys know I loves me my 3-0, but I'm not so into the cartoon colors there. And I'm not so into a cartoon look with toy colors either, as far as that MP. One thing I didn't really talk about, let's see here. We didn't talk about what's on the actual thumbnail yet, and we need to get through that. Ladies and gentlemen, behold my favorite turtle done up as He-Man. Now, like I've said in the past, I haven't gotten into Turtles at Grayskull. There's too many exclusives. I just don't want to deal with the headache. But I might consider going out and picking up the Turtles, just because it would be crazy, goofy fun to have these figures. But I don't know. We'll see. Everybody, I'm assuming, it seems like this was getting a lot of chatter, and I haven't seen much chatter about it lately. I'm going to look at Tila here because I noticed her head looked huge to me, like almost like a bulldog head when I saw it the first time. But that was with the helmet off. This isn't helping me. There you go. Yeah. Like, doesn't her head, is it just me, or does her head just look huge? Like, not proportionally to her body so much, although maybe it could be a little higher on the neck, but it's almost like triangular, like with the point being at the top. She just looks kind of beastly a little bit. It kind of throws me off. And she looks great with the helmet on, and I'm sure it's possible she was sculpted like this so the helmet would fit on her and look okay. But yeah, that head threw me off. I still think the overall look is really good. Like here, it doesn't bug me at all when she's got the helmet on. So yeah, there's that. I don't know how to finish that thought aside from saying there's that. Tragic. Oh, Dave. From the last chat, I started pointing those G.I. Joe missions. Yep, that's right. That's right. Let's see. I have some pics on good Lord, I got to read on FB and Insta. I know you were curious last time. I will check them out. Tragic. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need to know things. I need to be a better nerd, I think is what needs to happen. I need to be a more well-rounded nerd. Let's see. I hate the headaches, but get the TR. Hang on. We're going to see. Yeah. See, tragic. LOL, those are the best combos. Mikey and He-Man. Love it. Yeah, and I love that Mikey just went in with the wig too, because that is a Mikey thing to do. Yeah, that face is off. That's pretty much all that needs to be said, I suppose. I go out here, I go on these crazy diatribes, and you're just like, yeah, it's off. I'm going, yeah, I could have said it much simpler like that. That's right. Mr. Element, I'm curious if Mattel will release any vehicles or playsets for the Turtles of Grayskull line. I'm curious about that too. That would be like, what kind of combos would they have? The Turtles and He-Man have had so many cool vehicles, just not even not cool so much as imaginative. Like, it would be fun to combine the party wagon with, say, what's the thing that the He-Man figures had that had the big treads? The attack track, was that right? Now, it was the thing I'm thinking of looks like a van on treads. I can't remember what it's called, but that's because I didn't pay much attention when it came to the He-Man stuff. So let me know if you have any idea what I'm talking about. Because, oh no, I suck again. Let's see, they've teased Slime Pit on Carp. That's right, I have seen that. I did see that. That'll be fun. Anything with slime is still fun. It's weird. I still am like, whoa, give me some with slime. That's where we're at. So we got those. Let's see. The funny part is what I really came here to find. Go back, you fiend, was something I saw discussed maybe last week or a couple weeks ago. See, some of these look kind of fun. I don't know. And that's this bad boy. I didn't remember this at all. But when I saw the pictures that Mattel released, I'm like, holy crap, like it totally came back to me. I forgot what this was and everything. And then I'm going, oh yeah, now I know. And I can't believe how big it is. That's really cool. And I think the price was 45 bucks. But yeah, that is vintage filmation fun right there. The collector, oddly enough. It's almost like we should all have one of these, even if we're not into Masters so much. That wasn't Skeletor at all. Oh man. Yeah, I thought that thing was cool, but I think it was just because of the memories it brought back. Like truly, I had forgotten this thing was a thing. And the second I saw the photos, I'm like, oh yeah. Tragic. Yeah, I'd get the slime pit. Slime is just where the fun's at. Ah, the chat. It jumps on me. Sterileman, 3-seater, so fun, agreed. And I don't remember, was it a 3-seater in the cartoon? I just remember when I saw the outside of it, I'm going, man, that thing's awesome. See, the Easter eggs on the box art are exciting. That's true. And I'd forgotten about the slime pit one. You do always wonder what else is going to happen. Tragic flashbacks for sure of the collectors or of the collector. Man, the 80s were the best. There was just so much imagination back then, and it didn't matter what genre. Like the military figures, G.I. Joe, there was so much imagination in that. Transformers, the fact that, I mean, yes, Japan came out with the toys first and all that stuff, but the story and the mythology that was built around them over here just elevated them like mad. It was just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention, so I can't be sitting here like the old man yelling at clouds saying, in my day. I mean, it's possible that there's better storytelling out there for kids these days. It's possible there is more imagination being used these days. I just don't know. But I do know when we were all growing up, at least if you're an 80s kid like I am, this stuff was so original and so unique. And I know it's been done so many times since because we constantly are rehashing old ideas because people are having a hard time coming up with new stuff. But man, yeah, it can feel like old hat, but when it came out, it was incredible. So yeah, I'm a little jealous that I didn't get to work on some of those teams. I'm sure that on pretty much every toy team right now, you've got to stick exactly to source material and do not deviate. Unless you're looking at something like a Turtles of Grayskull or like the Universal Monsters Turtles and stuff. There are very few lines with well-known IP that you can deviate from. But yeah, hopefully a lot of what's coming out now, like AWOC, will end up being huge and we'll get some new stuff. She-Ra is on there with Swiftwind and Imp from Hordak. I don't remember Imp. I remember Hordak. Like I said, man, if I were to go nuts on Masters of the Universe figures, like just figures I would collect if I didn't get the rest of them, I would just buy all the Evil Horde stuff. I thought those things were so cool. I love Grizzlor. I'm messed up like that. This live show is the best. It's more like sitting around talking with friends than anything else. Thank you, Harry. I enjoy having these because you guys make it that way. It is an absolute blast checking this stuff out, but everybody popping through, it's so much fun. But I think after this, I'm going to cut the fun short, but I'll be back Monday. So anyway, guys, thanks as always for stopping by. I certainly appreciate it. And hey, do it next time. Let's keep the fun going. So until next time, have fun, happy snapping, and now some kind of face I haven't tried before. Here we go.